All right, artists, welcome to Sculpture. I know this is some of your guys' favorite place to be. It's one of my favorites. We've got Sculpture Level A. We're starting with just paper sculpture. Now, you do have an awesome poster made by me in your room with tons of paper sculpture techniques. Way more than what I'm going to show you in this videos. But if you have any questions on any of it, you can always ask me. And this video is just going to kind of show you how to get some of those shapes with crisp lines, how to use that glue so that those shapes stay. Okay, so let's talk about what we're gonna, the bread and butter of this, okay? Scissors, paper, glue. I can make a 3D form with paper folding and curling, attach the paper to a base, okay? Use the right amount of glue and take care of the art supplies. Yay! Really simple. Okay, let's get started. Here we go. In your caddy, you will probably have some form of glue, some form of scissors, some form of paper. If you need more than what's in here, talk to me, but you can probably go over to the collage area and grab some scissors and paper, and if the glue's not in there, you can grab that too. But let's talk about this. Go to your sketchbook, go to your experiment page. You're going to circle Sculpture Level A. Okay, there we go. And talk about art supplies, taking care of them. Glue is one of like my arch enemies. When it's dealt with correctly, it's amazing. When it's not dealt with correctly, Mrs. Rugy is taking these caps home and she's boiling them on her stove to get the gunk out of the inside. That's not how I like to spend my weekends. So, when you're using your glue, you turn it to open it up and you can hear it breathe. Hear it breathe? When it's clogged, it doesn't do that. It gets clogged because this does not get turned back down. This little white piece of plastic pops up when you turn it and it seals it shut so nothing can get clogged. Okay? Let's make sure we're always sealing that shut. So with our glue, we're going to come back to that. Some of our techniques for paper sculpture. We're not going to do the paper sculpture in our sketchbook because it's a sketchbook and it's going to shut and it would squish our sculpture. So grab a piece of paper. Actually, I'll probably have some little pieces in the caddy for you to sculpt on. So here's my little sculpture. To start with, I like giving it a good little foot. And I bent it like that so it's got a foot. I'm going to give it another foot. And then when I go to use my glue, I'm going to open it up. Put a little bit of glue, not a whole lot. If I put too much, it's not going to stick. That is plenty. I'm going to put it over here on this one. Now that I've got a foot, I can touch it down. I can touch this one down. He kind of got away from me. And I'm going to push and wiggle so that it gets a good grip on that paper underneath. Because I didn't use a whole lot of glue, it's going to grab right away because it's not a puddle. It's a sticky spot. We don't want puddles. We want sticky spots. So I've got this nice little arch. Another thing we can do, another sculpture piece. You can bend back and forth. Bend this way and that way and this way and that way. I'm not bending very straight and that's okay. It's going to make it a little more interesting. This way and that way and this way and that way. Pinch it. So I've got this spring. Okay. I'm not sure what to do with this spring. These guys already have feet made, so I'm going to put that little bit of glue and push it down until it grips. And let's put it over here. A little bit of glue. Oh, it wants to pull down that other guy, so I'm just going to put it under. Push it down until it grips. Okay, so these are just strips you can do. But some other things we can do. Let me grab a piece of paper here. This is where you might go to that sculpture area and grab your piece of paper. So let's say I want to make a rectangular prism or a rectangular tube. So I want to fold this paper into 4 pieces. I'm going to fold it in half and fold it in half again. Oh, this is not going to be rectangular. This is going to be a triangle. So I'm going to fold this one back. See how that just kind of comes together there? So this has got a triangle piece. If I wanted to do a rectangle, and this is a perfect square, but it's rectangle here, but there's nothing to grab onto it there. So I'm going to make this one a triangle, and then we'll go back and I'll show you how to make it a rectangle. So not a whole ton of glue, sticky spots, not puddles. I'm going to put that in there, touch those together, put my finger inside, and rub it as best I can. I can't get it to that very middle. What's cool is the heat from our hands can do a lot for helping this seal. Elmer's, this liquid glue, it doesn't have to be Elmer's, but liquid glue seals and holds way better than glue sticks. So if I wanted to use this somehow, I could. Okay, that'd be the same technique for a circle. You just wouldn't do the folding first. If you wanted like a tree branch or something, or a tree trunk. Okay, let's think. What else? Ooh, one of my favorites. I always love making fringe, and this is awesome for grass or eyelashes or cute little skirts, whatever it is you're sculpting. It just gives a little bit of texture. So I'm cutting and cutting and cutting and cutting, but I'm careful not to cut all the way through, otherwise I'd cut my piece in half. And then I just have to figure out what I wanted to do with half a piece instead of a whole piece. And I'm going all the way down. Just like we did with those, I'm going to give it a little foot. So I'm folding it up a little bit. What I mean by foot, I'm giving it something to stand on in that sticky spot. And I want a nice, clean, crisp stand up. So I'm folding it all the way down. So a little bit of glue, sticky spots, not puddles. And since I gave it a foot, it's got something to stand on. So there's that. And what's cool about fringe is you can curl it if you want. See, I curl it down kind of like an eyelash. If you did this for grass, you could cut lots of different angles, so you've got grass going all over the place. Let's think. I'm going to grab one of these strips again, and you can make a curl. And this is something I've probably shown you in kindergarten if I was your teacher in kindergarten. I'm going to wrap around my pencil as tight as I can, and press and hold. I'm giving the pressure and the heat from my hands. And I'm gonna give it 10, 15 seconds. Okay, and then I'm gonna let go. I've got this little curl. So you can use it as a curl of some sort, like that. You can give it a foot, like that little bend, so it can bend down. Or if you wanted to, you could, let's see. So there's this art called quilling, where they just use paper rolled up like this, and they make a sticky spot. Pretty good sticky spot. And let's see. They fill their whole paper with these curls. They fill the whole base with these curls of paper. So I could make an even tighter curl and go right in the middle of that one. And they'll make whole pictures like mosaics out of that. I haven't done that before because I am a very active artist. I don't sit still very well. So I do more of attaching things to things, I guess. But yeah, paper sculpture. There's really no rhyme or reason to it. Once you're done with your paper sculpture, draw me a picture in your sketchbook of it. It can be just a quick little sketch, and then show it to me, and we will see where we're at from there. All right, happy creating, guys.